Some helmet. I'm very proud of it.
It does look good. I like it.
Everybody has to have a good helmet. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Great movie. Yes.
Yes.
Bum.
Not such a good band, though.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a very special guest returning, and it is, I missed the anniversary, I think, by 2 weeks. We had Az's 1 year anniversary, and it was the 1 year anniversary where Critical Drinker and Az came on the show and kind of launched the new phase of Friday Night Tights. To the quality that you see today. So thanks for coming back on. Drinker, how are you?
Yeah. Hello. You may know me as the Critical Drinker, but I'll have you know I'm actually very, very sober.
That's good.
He's not even a drunk. What?
Yeah.
What is going on?
I've seen people say that. They're like,
He's not really a complete alcoholic.
Yeah.
like, what?
Did you hear he's
Fucking
straight
dude.
edge?
Honestly, man, give me a couple hours and I'll be like, yeah, you won't believe how sober I am.
Oh, it's all right. I'll hold down the sobriety in this corner of the live stream. We got God down there, sobriety here, and then we got the heathens over here. All right. So, wow, Star Trek, I cannot believe they posted this on their fucking website. I can because it's not only the mask coming off of Kurtzman and CBS. It's the mask coming off of Hollywood. I mean, this is what we have been talking about for fucking years. Now they're just like freely putting it on their websites. Yeah, communism. I love it when a billion-dollar corporation backs communism. It's my favorite thing.
I know. Yeah, you're gonna have to like clue me in on how this is meant to work. Like these companies, which literally depend on capitalist money to survive, suddenly endorsing communism like it's a great idea for them. Like. How is that in any way meant to function?
I don't really know, and I doubt they think about it that much. I mean, Star Trek was built on capitalism. It is quintessential capitalism. It is merchandising. It is everything about it. Now, the themes within Star Trek are utopian, and some might believe that those are communism, but the do they define? Oh shit! God damn it!
Screen's out on my end.
There we go. Screen's back.
Oh yes, I hit the X button by mistake, and well,
no, I didn't hit the X button. It's this.
That was just our Black Lives Matter phase.
Black Lives Matters. They do. Here we go.
It was so much easier in the days of Windows 95.
It really was. It really was. Here we go. And yeah, the Star Trek. Go on.
This is what pisses me off, right? When people because they keep banging this drum over and over again that the Star Trek, the United Federation of Planets, is a communist society because they don't have money anymore. But it's not, and it's always been said about this. It's a post-scarcity society. So it's removed the need for any kind of economic system, whether it's communism or capitalism or anything like that. It doesn't even have that kind of outlook on life anymore. The whole point of it is it's moved beyond economic theory into something more, where the goal is just to explore the universe. And so I hate when people keep like latching onto it and saying, see, this is proof that communism can produce a utopia. No, it absolutely can't. This isn't what communism is. It's just the same idiots that just recycle the same points over and over again.
Yeah, and it's not like we haven't had examples, right? I've got Russian friends, very close friends, who escaped the USSR, and they don't have a lot of nice things to say about it, and they experienced it for years and years and years. But I see workers of the world unite. There might be a little bit of a problem here. What's your guess on what this guy's job is? I'm looking into it. I don't know, but does he even work? You have to work to unite as a worker. That's for one. And it's the fact that Star Trek posted it, and I guess they're doing it under the guise of we want to hear other ideas. It's
all champagne socialism.
Yes,
it's all champagne socialism. This is the aspect of it. Quartering posted a picture from the website, and he went onto the website with an ad blocker, and so he had this, and then he posted the next image, which was, we noticed that you're using an ad blocker to remove the adverts. We rely on these adverts to keep the website going. Please, could you consider removing the ad blocker? You know, so the whole aspect of that in itself was laughable. These are people that they hear, oh, socialism is great. It's about working together. It's about unity. It's about power to the people who are producing it. And then we work in unity with one another. But to have communism, there has to be an authoritarian state. And this is what the big problem with communism has always been, because the authoritarian state has never been power to the people. It's always been abused and taken and taken from the people. And that's why you get mass genocide, because the communist state then suddenly goes, well, we could do with a little bit less of these people, and we could do with a little bit more.
All that centralized power.
He says that in the article, and there is a representation of communism in Star Trek. It's called the Borg. And the Borg eventually had to have a queen because they couldn't tell any more stories with them. So they needed an authoritarian presence eventually anyway. But yeah, if we were all just, if all of our passions, all of our needs and wants, all of our ambitions were completely taken away and we were just little worker bee drones, it might work. Sounds really good on paper. It really doesn't to me, but that's what people say. But it will never work, and it's counterintuitive to everything Star Trek wants to be as a franchise. And to echo what Drinker said, I don't fucking understand why these corporations are placating to all of these people. I still think it's the path of least resistance. I think they're cowards. They're so afraid of being labeled racist because they have been pushing the false narrative that anybody centrist and to the right is just a racist now. It's not even you're conservative. It's not like we have different ideas about healthcare or the immigration. It is you're just a racist. And that's what they're pushing here too. Let's read this a little bit.
Well, also their favorite thing to say is that it's fascism. You're a fascist.
Okay,
you're a fascist for holding these ideas. Exactly. And so it's just like, okay, but you think communism is a good thing? You don't think there's fascistic ideas that are being promoted there?
What? You think there might be fascistic ideology with an authoritarian state?
Maybe. There's no consistency to their views. We all know this. I mean, we see the same things and again, not to get too far into like current day politics, but it's like we see the same things going on now that they spent 4 years complaining about every day. Like, oh, Trump's doing this, and then the Biden, they don't even bring it up. They don't know what they believe. It's zombies that are just running with this powerful narrative from corporations in Hollywood, and they put this information out there in certain ways, and then these mindless zombies on social media just repeat it over and over again. And a lot of them are getting paid to repeat it, by the way. Yep. A lot of them are getting paid to shit post on social media that have prominent followings, and then they push this stuff, and then a lot of these mindless zombies like, oh, this person has 200,000 followers and they're saying it must be true, because that's how that mindset works.
And then the companies listen to them for some reason, which makes no sense because they are such a small subsect of the actual culture,
but then when you take Twitter as being real life, like suddenly it gets magnified tenfold, and you're like, oh, holy shit, this is a genuine movement that's going on right now. We need to like get on board with this.
But it doesn't even translate to Star Trek though, because Star Trek is now a society that operates through the meritocracy. So it doesn't even translate to that, because these are the best people possible for these roles.
Well,
this isn't just a socialist society. It doesn't, no, this is a meritocracy. There is a chain of command. There is a whole structure here about who is best for the captain's role, who's best for the admiral's role, who is best for engineering, etc.
it's a military like any other, and so people get promoted based on merit. But also, it's a universe that really values individual freedoms and liberties and rights, which is things that you really don't get under a fucking communist regime. They don't give a shit about individual freedoms. In fact, if anything, they trample them, because then they're going to be free to criticize the state, and you can't have that. So, yeah, that's absolutely antithetical to what the Federation is.
That's actually like
we do now have it in Star Trek, and it's called Star Trek Discovery. Now that I can believe is a socialist communist Starfleet, because it just lets any old fucking retard in, and they always fuck up. They always make mistakes. They have no clue what they're doing. There's no structure. There's no chain of command, and they question authority at every given opportunity because they're the bestest ever.
I think that like the idea of like what Drinker said with like the free choice and respecting these different like societies, it's exactly what we saw. Like they weren't supposed to interfere in a lot of ways with what was going on in these worlds that they discovered in these civilizations, and so that is very antithetical to everything that they're trying to portray it as. And of course, we have no idea how we got to this place in this literally mythical like society that's just created. It does not mean that communism would work. It's insane. No. When you speak of meritocracy, I think that means United Airlines pilots wouldn't that wouldn't work. The Federation is that what we're saying.
And consider something like in Next Generation, there's an episode called Measure of a Man, where they want to dismantle data so that they can make more datas on starships all across the Federation. So in their mind, it's in the collective good to do that, to sacrifice him to make more of him. Whereas Picard argues successfully that no, you have to respect his individual rights because he's a thinking, feeling entity, and so that becomes the crux of the whole episode. That his rights to exist trump your desire to create more of him for the good of the collective. That's the point. His individual rights as a person are more important. And that's the exact opposite of what communism is.
Hey, dude, you remember Star Trek Picard? When they totally forgot about all that. When they just created a whole race of android slaves.
Well, Mr. Wynn here is a cosplayer. He's a cosplayer. So would he be willing to give up his cosplay for the good of the state? Because that stuff doesn't, you don't, I mean, I don't know what kind of a world they imagine, but I have talked what happened in the USSR, and you were, some choices you didn't get, if you could afford it, but you were more concerned about eating. Sometimes you don't get to choose where you work. It's best your skill set. The state will choose your skill set. I mean, I think we have.
Well, you don't get to choose the house you live in either. You can't buy a house. The state will allocate you a living dwelling, which is exactly the same as 10,000 other ones.
What were those dog shit Russian cars?
Skodas.
Yeah, they had to drive.
Chat's frozen on the screen,
and it's probably going to be frozen. Okay, that's just what we're going to have to deal with.
But there's a massive thing which he doesn't take into consideration either. He thinks that first contact happened, and then suddenly, serendipitously, the human race just made a complete change. No, there was a race of people called the Vulcans who worked with the humans to develop, who worked with the humans to show them how their society has operated now that they can fly through the stars. And if you've seen Star Trek Enterprise, you'll know that the Vulcans have been working with the humans ever since first contact. And it's nearly 100 years before they get really out there into space with the Star Trek NX-01, which is the original Enterprise. So there is another species who is helping the human race evolve as well. This isn't a serendipitous socialist and it's nearly 100 years before they get really out there into space with the Star Trek NX-01, which is the original Enterprise. So there is another species who is helping the human race evolve as well. This isn't a serendipitous socialist and it's nearly 100 years before they get really out there into space with the Star Trek NX-01, which is the original Enterprise. So there is another species who is helping the human race evolve as well. This isn't a serendipitous socialist
You've got a good head on those. Stay on the trail.
Star Trek. Well, no, Ryan, what were you saying earlier about what they detected? He was about to say something.
Yeah, basically, I feel like the reason that happened, Streamlabs has actually implemented a new feature, StreamYard, that when they detect someone about to say a racial slur, when they're going to say the N-word, they just boot you out right there.
Yeah,
Gary got so triggered over communism in Star Trek. That was about to happen, but thankfully, StreamYard saved us. Everyone.
Thank you for your bravery, StreamYard. Thank you.
But it was all in vain, StreamYard, because we're about to criticize communism again.
I'm gonna say it.
And I'm gonna say it.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
And I do.
We gotta play that. We gotta play that. I don't know. Can we?
No.
I don't think we can. No.
Don't they actually say the word?
I don't know. Az has played some pretty interesting stuff here on Friday Night Titans. So,
Mrs. Obama, get down.
I could go try and find one of my girlfriends if you want.
I'll bring Tatiana.
I've got definitely got a new girlfriend video.
Gary has literally no idea what we're talking about because all these memes and jokes happened while he was computer.
While he's gone.
We're like, let's kill some time. Let's watch some videos.
No, but we do. I do have this, Gary, if you can, because this happened right when this is exclusive information to Friday Night Tights. Gary, that clip. This is a live reaction of Gary when this all happened.
Do it.
Where is it?
It's in the private chat. It's in the private chat.
Why don't you just share it?
Why don't you just share the video?
Yeah, my every time I share on screen yards, it messes up.
Okay, sorry.
And we could already hear that when it played.
Yeah, so this is what Gary was doing right when the stream crashed. Exclusive to Friday Night Tights right here.
Yep, amazingly, I look like some Canadian twat, but just a little bit. Okay, sorry guys. Just a little bit. Okay, sorry guys. Hey, look what the next video is. Look
Hey, that looks so
Critical
good.
Trigger!
down, motherfucker. No.
Yeah. No, don't give it a dead vote.
No, dude.
I heard the laugh. I heard the laugh.
Holy shit. I'm taking a vacation.
Let's just watch videos. Fuck it. Let's just
Kyle Benedict did have something new out that we got to see.
He does the fresh prez of
The fresh prez. So let's go look at some Kyle.
And just so you know, Gary, when you're playing videos and not sharing, we can still hear it because it's feeding through. Just so you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully it doesn't echo.
It's fine for now.
Hopefully it doesn't echo, but we'll find out. Yeah. So I'm going through a sound system here. It's fancy, so it'll break down. Here we go.
Oh man, that was glorious right there. I think it was all worth it just to see that John Campia reaction.
It was. Look at all the thumbnails.
In Scranton, PA, lifeguard pools where I spent my days till a dude was pop. Make a trouble. Pool.
His face is
Her hair than my other leg. Not my black kids would touch him. On a train and moved to DC. Barack Obama gave a job to me. Kissed the boy on the lips. I hold the ladies tight and sniff all their hairs. First person American to follow up with stuff. The winner was me. Now I sit at my desk as a apprentice. Not you know the thing. Come on.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
So good.
Oh, Kyle.
Holy hell.
Oh, where were we? Fucking
we were fucking everything up, Gary. That's where we were. Dude. Hey,
I'm just happy that you guys are still here. Thanks for sticking with.
No.
Okay, so the acquisition of wealth is no longer the driving force in our lives. We work to better ourselves and the rest of the community. Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek First Contact. For one, that's a completely different Jean-Luc Picard from TNG. And I do believe Star Trek is made to accumulate wealth. Am I wrong on this one? Am I wrong?
No.
You are not wrong.
Used to be.
Nope. Yeah. It
used to be.
It used to be quite good at it, yeah.
Yes. Most Star Trek fans agree that the Federation would be a nice place to live. It's got unlimited food, no wars, friendly holographic medical care on demand, and regular classical music performances on deck 10. It's great. It's in short, and hope springs eternal amongst the Trek faithful. That the future represented on screen is a future will one day achieve. I believe you pointed this out in your video as which Star Trek are we talking about? Are we talking about the good Star Trek that died in 2005? Because we couldn't be talking about Discovery. which
we can't be talking about Picard because that was a dystopian nightmare.
it was.
You had people teleporting into your houses, stabbing you. You were a crack addict living out in the middle of nowhere in a van, like Janelle and Ryan Wilder from Batwoman. So which version of Star Trek are you talking about? Because you're talking not about modern Star Trek, you're talking about Roddenberry Star Trek. So you can't pick and choose which futures you want and then praise the current product when it doesn't actually have what you said it has. Because the current product's a dystopian future.
So in a communist society that Mr. Wynn wants, who pays for Star Trek? How is it even going to get paid for? Because you need to even out the wealth. You're going to have to take from a lot. For one,
no, Gary, you don't understand. The state will allocate resources to Star Trek to produce more shows.
Well, no, it's even better.
They'll have a budget of like $50 each.
Yeah,
Mr. Wynn will be dead because the government would have killed him for being a Vietnamese American. So he would have actually been ethnically cleansed. In his communist fucking future, and he's now in the ground becoming fertilizer.
Are you sure it's about his race, or is it because he's a cosplayer?
Maybe. I do believe, well, as far as, he talks about we'll get there. He talks about the communist revolution, how we're going to achieve this. Mr. Wynn is a fan who asks the question a lot. In the Earth of the future, we eliminate poverty, hunger, homelessness, all the stuff that's hard to still talk about. It's paradise on Earth, Wynn says. Now, how do you actually achieve a one world government with no borders where we've eliminated poverty and war and hunger and disease? That's a pretty significant gain, pretty significant achievement. Wait a minute. I didn't know that Star Trek Earth had eliminated borders.
It hasn't, because it's clearly got defined countries.
Yes, absolutely. They talk about going, and they're fuzzy on some of the stuff, but it's not a one world government. And as a matter of fact, the Earth that they go to in the year 3000, I believe, and they're like a totalitarian state that has their borders closed off. And didn't want to let the Discovery in for good reason, because it's the Discovery. But I don't know if that was from Star Trek Discovery season 3, folks. Nobody watched it. I did.
Comics backstage, by the way.
He's all right. So there's this
one,
Mr. Wynn there. He's got his Romulan ale. Who's going to pay for that?
Who's going to pay for that? Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to ask him this every time. That's the thing. Star Trek is very detailed about the makeup of the utopian future. Not really. In some stuff, sure, but not clear on the assembly. We've got the Bell riots coming up in 3 years, give or take, and sometime in the next 40 years, we've got World War III to contend with, possibly featuring genetically augmented superhuman and ultimately first contact with an alien society before we're off to the races. We've got the pieces, but not the way of fitting them together, like an IKEA dresser without an instruction manual, and we'll probably need more than a complimentary Allen wrench to pull this off. For one, I don't know how old Mr. Wynn is. Maybe the lack of hair adds to his age. I'm not really sure, but there's a certain point where you move past IKEA furniture. I'm just saying. It's just a little unsolicited advice. It's much easier to go to a used furniture store and buy some real furniture for cheaper. But Will Wynn thinks he has the answer. Communism. Communism.
So if you said that's Romulan ale, that's what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, if he was cosplaying as Star Trek, that would be Qui-Gon Jinn.
That was so good, Ryan.
For one, we're talking to a cosplayer, and it's for one, that is a term that was made up by adults because they were ashamed that they were wearing costumes. I mean, I don't have any shame in your game. If you're an adult who likes to dress up as a superhero regularly, you are an adult in a costume, in a suit. You're not a cosplayer. You're not playing anything. you're an adult in a costume, and like again, don't have any shame to your game. But how exactly does he expect
like
this
dog shit? That's what he should be ashamed of. His fucking cosplay looks like fucking trash.
Well,
That's
it
what
is
he should be
trash.
ashamed
He
of.
buys like regular costumes and has them modified and tailored to him. He doesn't make them himself or have it custom made. It's just crap. That's why.
Like he takes the fucking short bus to the fucking convention center. Look at him. Like that fucking outfit looks terrible.
Let me ask a question. If you have a society that's so bad, but you have time to think about how to make Star Trek real, you might be in a pretty damn good society. I'm just saying. Because you're not like, oh, where am I going to poop tonight? Because I can't poop near my hut. I need to go dig a hole and I might get attacked by some animal, or I got to dig a hole for fucking water because I don't have running water. These are problems he doesn't have thanks to capitalism. Thanks to capitalism.
Champagne socialist.
Basically.
Why do you stink of cat piss?
Do any of you think like as a species we've just become bored?
Yes.
Like we have
real problems.
We have nothing left to challenge us really, and there's nothing particularly to aim for. So we're just kind of mooching around this planet with nothing to do except bitch about stupid things. And this is why people like this fucking moron get any kind of attention. Like if we actually had some kind of like higher goal to turn our eyes to, like we wouldn't even listen to people like this for a moment.
The first couple thousand years of our existence, we were just trying to live past fucking 40. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That's what our entire fucking history is about. And now we're at the point where, over here in America, we're getting so fucking fat. 50% of people are fucking obese because our lives are that good. And so now we're worrying about this.
You for Christ's sake.
So now we're worried about this mythical gender wage gap. You know what I mean? Like we're complaining about these ridiculous things.
It's because we're victims of our own success. That's why.
Yeah, it's literally never been easier to be a man or a woman in society ever.
Or neither, Ryan, or both.
Neither or both. Yeah. Or something completely different.
And you know what? Why not? Why start with America? Why not start with the other countries that need to come up a little more? Like, let's just say Vietnam. We'll say Vietnam, but which tried the communist experiment. I'm not sure if they're not communists anymore. I think they're more open market. Not really sure.
Well, let's see North Korea. How are they getting on with the whole communism thing? What's their quality of life like?
Oh,
yes, it's not great.
So
There's a province in China.
I have a son who's quarter Vietnamese. And
you never told me that.
Yes, I've never mentioned it before, but I know how Vietnam, how mixed race kids are treated in that country to this very day, which is horribly. They are shunned from society, and it's pretty bad from the all the soldiers going to visit during the war and having their fun. There's a lot of mixed race kids there, and they're treated like garbage. So why not work on that first, and then you can work on the country that allows you to sit around drinking fucking fake Romulan ale and dress up in your little fake Star Trek uniform and talking about changing society with a revolution. What do you think happens in a revolution, Mr. Wynn? You think we're just going to go, okay, we give up, you commies win? No. So workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Ask
and your life.
Whatever.
Karl Marx and Rom the Space Knight. Did Rom the Space Knight say that too? It says and Rom. So I don't know. Well, yeah. Or you can lose your house, your property, all the stuff you've worked honestly for the, give up your comic collection, give it all up, give up your cosplay. Are you going to give up your cosplay? Forget.
Well, it's like lose your chains because we've got some nice new ones to put on you.
Yeah, it's funny because he tries to address it by sidestepping it, and later on in the article.
Hello, I'm a communist.
You know what? It's like you could basically pick any problem anywhere, and this fucking idiot would just apply communism to it. People are too happy and too prosperous and too rich nowadays. You know what the solution is? Communism.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I hope somebody has created the Star Trek capitalist account and just start posting pictures of toys and all the shit they sell and stock prices and profit and loss. I would just do that all fucking day.
Do you know what this champagne socialism really is, mate? Do you know what it really is? It's fucking lazy people. That's what it is. It's lazy people that don't want to fucking work. They don't want to aspire. They don't want to achieve. They just want a fucking handout. That's all they fucking want. And then they equate that with fucking socialism or communism. It's just lazy people that can't be bothered to work for their stuff. That's why, I mean, we see it on YouTube all the time. How many people count our money every fucking day? Yep. Always counting our money. Why? Because they're fucking too lazy to earn it for themselves. So they start counting other people's. And then they get mad, and then they get jealous, and then they start posting, and then they start trying to deplatform you. And that's where we are.
Yeah. I mean, and there's nothing more pathetic than counting another man or woman's money. That's the worst form of envy. And listen, there's all of us here have worked hard to get what we have right now, these little YouTube channels, except for Drinker, but you know, comparatively on YouTube, we're little YouTube channels, right? But it's been a lot of fun, a lot of us have come from very humble beginnings to get where we are, and it's because we worked our ass off and we had the opportunity to do it. Now, the one thing I'm grateful for about this country, which is not perfect, is I've made tons of mistakes, and I've been giving second, third, fourth. This is the land of the second and third and fourth and fifth chance, or at least it used to be. You're not going to get that chance in communism. Once you have, there's countries where if you take from the state, well, that's like stealing from God, and you're treated like you stole from God. So, I look forward to this. Now, what's his reasoning here? For the last couple of years, Mr. Wynn had been evangelizing the view in a uniquely Trek fashion and wearing Trek fashion to do it. Calling himself the Star Trek communist, Mr. Wynn dons costumes for multiple eras of Trek, ranging from the monster maroon of the TOS movies or the bright colors and sharp edges of Lower Decks. That's not Star Trek. Posting frequently on Trek fan pages and Facebook groups, his preferred pose is toasting the camera with a blue beverage that's probably not Romulan ale, facing into the camera like Benjamin Sisko in the classic Deep Space Nine episode In the Pale Moonlight. Referencing the pronunciation of his own name, he signs many of his photos with the simple slogan, "Communism will win." Will it?
No.
How many photos do you think this motherfucker signs? How many people? Yeah, how many people are coming up and asking for this dumb bitch's autograph? Let's be real. How often has he said communism will win when he signs fans that come up to him and ask this idiot to sign something? It's so laughable.
Let's go to his Twitter. He's got 6,900 followers.
69.
His last,
the real mover and shaker right there.
he retweets a lot. I'm looking for his last tweet where he shared he's got a video on YouTube. I wonder if it's monetized. Instant regret. Star Trek pushes communism.
I'm on Star Trek.
He shared. What? He shared the Cold Rings video. He did, and he shared Az's video too.
I was wondering where that was. Like, did he join or is he?
Yeah,
I got mentioned in the video.
That's what he's looking for. And all he says is, the first right-wing YouTuber to denounce me. Are you a right-wing YouTuber, Az?
No, I'm left-wing. It's not as far left as
what
a communist.
That's what a right-winger would say.
That's what a right-winger would say.
Well, comparatively, Az, you are a right-winger because he's so far left.
Anything right of the far left is essentially a Nazi. Let's just be honest. So yeah.
It's like a circle. It just keeps
the
going
first
around.
Far right
Circle jerk, more
because
like.
I can't handle or deal with any criticism. But the fact that I'm a fucking dumbass champagne socialist, I can't deal with any criticisms whatsoever. I've got to immediately go to NPC line #24.18. There are alt-right YouTubers.
Well, I just want to say he's not a champagne socialist. He's a Romulan ale socialist.
Romulan ale socialist.
The only thing I would get, somebody said, you are so mad. He is so mad. By the way, Boomer Niner is his Twitter. And feel free to debate him on the merits of communism as much as you want. Ask him like legit questions. See if he can answer how Star Trek would get paid for in his communist society.
Well, doesn't it say in this article here that he doesn't debate people on communism?
Yeah, because he has losing arguments.
Yes.
I mean, the whole thing is like, what's the one thing communism does not have an abundance of? Food. Because a lot of people starved under communism.
What the fuck is with this pinned tweet, Gary? I'm sharing it right now.
Dude.
This is the future communists want. It's a symbol and a vibrator.
Oh, Lord. That's hilarious.
If he's a troll, mad respect.
Oh, my.
If he is a fucking troll, mad respect. But I doubt he is.
He probably doesn't even know what it is because he's never touched a woman.
God, imagine how
He has a
bad.
daughter.
Imagine how bad this thing smells. That's all I can think of with the woman that's holding this.
I imagine that woman, what's going to be tonight, left or right, you know?
What speed shall I go with?
Holy shit.
Oh, God, look how the data looks. Oh, my God.
He looks awful.
That is the stuff of nightmares. And look at Picard. Look how energetic
he just... Yeah, it's like he doesn't even know where he is. It's like they just had to wheel him out for this scene.
Help, Data! I've cracked my pants.
I didn't know Data ate. I didn't realize.
No, number one, I just made a number two.
Right, his name is Data, not Data.
Did you say
if you
Data?
call him Data, he will correct you to his correct pronunciation, which is Data.
Data.
Honestly, in this new Trek, I think they would just go with Data.
Data.
They wouldn't even give a shit. It's like
Maybe it's a ta. A little ta.
Lieutenant Commander Data.
I just think it's interesting that Brent Spiner like wanted to be written out of the Trek movies like 20 years ago because he couldn't realistically play Data anymore because he was getting older.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Now they just
again.
jam him into a uniform.
Well, his dinner theater and his little band that he forces people to listen to at Star Trek conventions isn't doing it for him. By God.
Maybe that weird stalker who wrote all the Brent Spiner like weird porn in it.
Oh, Gail.
Yeah, Gail. That's her name. There's this weird person who like day after day would write this like fanfic of like her and Brent Spiner fucking. It was the weirdest thing.
Brent Spiner rapes somebody in a diner in her fantasy.
Yeah.
But he was under the spell of, what was she called? The ballerina Angelique or something. Dude, I've got a stream with Rackets on Thursday. We're going deep into Gale.
Oh boy. Nice.
No, that's exactly what she wants. Don't do that.
For the last couple of years, Wynn has been evangelizing this view in a uniquely Trek fashion. We talked about that. The effect was immediate, and as Wynn explained, a lot of people got mad. Workers of the world unite, blah, blah, blah. Karl Marx. How will become a Star Trek fan? How will become a Star Trek fan?
His name Will Win.
Wait a minute.
I can't read.
How does Will say this?
Player is a pretty common story, one most Trek fans would identify with. I think my Star Trek journey, if you will, started out like many of my generation.
See it right there, right? Whenever someone calls it their fucking journey, they've lost me.
Yeah,
everything's a fucking journey now. It's like my fucking drinking journey, my pregnancy journey, my college journey. No one cares about your fucking journey, okay?
My period journey. Hi, Mark.
God, you self-absorbed arsehole.
Yeah, this guy's a narcissist. I mean, he is a flat out. That's going to be problematic, using your terms, in communism. But yeah, so great point. Who in the fuck cares how you became a fan of something? I don't really care. I was a next generation baby. I grew up watching it on syndication. By the way, Star Trek was on syndication to make money.
Capitalism.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
But we're only using capitalism until we get socialism.
1.4 million home
Yeah.
in Topanga, which has a black population of 1.4%.
Did you say Topanga?
Topanga, yeah.
Topanga.
Watching
Yeah.
watching Patrick Stewart, watching the entire crew. Whenever it was on TV, I think my parents allowed me to watch it because they thought it was somewhat educational because it was set in space and there was a lot of talking.
That was their benchmark for educational.
Also, that's his
talking
journey.
in it.
That's his journey right there. Oh, my parents said that I should watch it because there's a lot of talking.
Cool story, bro.
Trek got into his bloodstream like so many Borg nanoprobes, and over time, from TNG to TOS to DS9 through all the rest. Eventually, he started to express his love of Trek through cosplay. When I had the ability to at least get uniforms or costumes myself, I didn't have to ask my parents to buy me something because they wouldn't. He laughs. I'm very simple cosplayer. I just buy a costume and I have them tailored.
Where'd you get the money?
Where'd you get the money to get them tailored? Is there going to be a state tailorer for Star Trek costumes? That's the question.
No,
I'm not skilled like those other people. I can tell.
Why is this guy getting a fucking article made about him? Like, literally, he's just a guy who buys uniforms that already exists and wears them, and he talks about communism. That's it.
Because Star Trek is shit.
The last frame in season 3 of Discovery? That was a fucking Starship commie.
Did you say he has a YouTube channel, or he was on one?
No, he was just sharing a YouTube.
So this is a cosplayer who literally can't even make his own costumes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's worthless in the cosplayer community if you can't make your own costume.
And this is worthy of an article from StarTrek.com.
Yep, because Star Trek is shit.
You've got people like Robert Meyer Burnett out there who could run a Trek TV show better than they're doing now, and they're interviewing a fucking cosplayer. And let's be real, they're interviewing this cosplayer because Stop the Asian Hate, everybody. Stop the Asian.
Oh, he's Asian.
Yes.
Well, I thought he's a communist.
I was gonna go somewhere.
And a communist. And a communist.
He must not be Chinese then.
This article is gonna do nothing to stop that. I don't quite understand that.
Attending conventions, adding to his collection of costumes, connecting with other fans allowed for no doubt that Wynn was a Trekkie, but becoming the Star Trek communist would take more time and more heartbreak. Oh, what a journey. I'm so moved by this.
My bowels are moved.
Is that his? Oh my God.
Look at that.
Wow, it's so convincing.
He fits right in.
What does he have in his hand now?
A dick.
I didn't say what he had in his ass. What is in his hand?
It's he's got a mug there.
Wait.
Did he buy that with money?
I think
he buy that with money.
I have genuinely got to see the next step in this guy's journey, how he became a leftist. I'm pretty sure it's along the lines of I couldn't get a job, so I decided communism was the way.
Pretty much.
I didn't want a job.
Victim narrative pays very well. Victim narrative pays very well.
So I thought communism sounded good.
Because working is hard, and I don't want to do it.
And I had to pay for my costumes because I couldn't make my own.
The funny thing is that every time Tim Pool talks about this is exactly the story that he has. I have a lot of college debt, and the world sucks, so therefore communism is the answer.
Can I just cosplay for a living and go to conventions for a living?
Why can't that be a thing? Why can't that be a thing?
Now Coof's here, I want to be a commie.
And these are things I've heard in real life from people I know, which is very sad. And that person happened to be a very rich kid from a rich family who didn't want to work.
Students feel the same way. Like it used to be, the thing that people wanted to be were astronauts. Now, if you ask them what you want to be, I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. Well, I thought rich kids that didn't want to work were Black Lives Matter activists.
That might be what it is the next go around.
If you can make $1.4 million doing it, why not, huh?
I know. And then move to a place with a 1.4% of black population.
It's not my fault your species decided to abandon currency-based economics in favor of some philosophy of self-enhancement. Nog. Yeah. Okay. Where's the self-enhancement here? I'm looking for. I'm kind of confused. How he became a diehard leftist is also the standard tale, a particularly common refrain in the last several years. Following the run-up to the election of 2006, Wynn found himself disillusioned with the two major parties and went looking further left for answers. So he is a lifelong communist of the last 4 years.
Pretty much.
Wait, since 2016. How strange. How strange.
What happened in 2016?
So the
Are
headline.
you going to get rid of student debt? No. Are you going to get rid of student debt? No. I'm a commie.
Pretty much.
Headline here is lazy youngster figures it out.
Pretty much.
Yeah, thank you for Jesus Christ.
Does he become a Bernie bro?
Yes, my generation, the millennial generation, were affected by the crisis that is capitalism. When
pass me my fucking violin.
You know what? All of us were affected by that crisis, but some people do well. So
when he says crisis of capitalism, does he mean crisis of getting a fucking job, you bum?
Yeah. You mean back in 2008 when you would have been right out of high school? You know, good for you, man.
Working hard. No, because he's a millennial, so he has to be born 1990.
No, millennial would be Gen. Was it Gen Z? No.
Y.
Gen Y. It's the same as Gen Y because I'm technically a millennial by certain charts.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's
I was born in '88, so he would have been around my generation.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
Although every generation has been affected by the excess of capitalism, including you, Mr. Wynn, by being so fucking bored. You don't look like you're fucking starving to me, buddy.
No, he doesn't.
Starvation there.
That's just the face app. The face app makes it look like he's well fed.
Some generations are more uniquely situated to witness that. That's obviously the millennial generation and the Zoomers. I hate to break it to you, dude. Zoomers are right. Right behind us. Yeah, right behind you. He says they're told that they just sort of go to school and take on this debt, but then you'll get a job. They play by the rules, right? But then they've merged into a market that is virtually non-existent. That was shut down by some local politicians, but it depends on what market you take. See, there is no market for fucking women's studies. There's no market for
trade
gender studies. Go to trade school. Get a trade, and you will get.
This is where I have the tiniest bit of sympathy in that a lot of people in that generation were sold this lie of like, oh, just go to college, go to university, you'll get a degree in some fucking random thing.
You'll get
it'll
loans.
Just magically get you a job.
Yeah, you'll get loans, and the loans are fine. Don't worry about the loans because you'll be able to pay them off one day.
Yeah,
that's what I was
but
told.
like as said, like go to get a trade, go to trade school, become like an electrician or like an engineer or something like that. Like those are the things that actually pay. Those are the things that are always going to be needed. Become a plumber, become a joiner, whatever.
In your communist society, the people who will have the most status outside of the actual politicians who will be lording over everybody will be the people with skills like that. They will be the necessary, infrastructure. Blogging, cosplaying. Unfortunately, there's not going to be enough excess for that. See, art comes from excess. If you go back and
it does.
Star Trek actually made a piss poor analogy in Star Trek Discovery. They said, I believe in the second to last episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, they said the Renaissance was started from the 3-point perspective. And I'm like, no, the Renaissance started from the weather being warmer, more food. People were able to gain wealth and have excess, and then you can find skilled laborers who weren't too busy hunting and gathering. They were able to go into society, get jobs, and you can have skilled labor. That comes from wealth accumulation.
So it was a privileged era, you would say.
It was.
Definitely.
Rich people paid for the Renaissance. Okay, that's there you go. They were told that they just sort of go to school, blah, 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 read that already. And then he says they are swimming in debt and then having almost all of their income go for rent. They've got to piece together multiple jobs, 3 or 4 side hustles, gig jobs. This is the best that capitalism can do. Well,
yeah, in blue cities, absolutely. As soon as he mentioned rent, I'm like, oh, you mean the crazy city rent that you're probably paying because you have to be in the city? You can live elsewhere and pay almost next to nothing in comparison.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, but I need my mocha in the morning.
I need my Starbucks in the morning, and I
Yeah,
want
like,
right down
I don't want to leave New
York.
York.
I can't drive anywhere because I can't get a driver's license because driving is hard.
Dude, that drinker, you don't like. That was a rite of passage here in the States, was getting your driver's license back in the day. Like that was, kids could not wait to do it. I learned how to drive years before. Now kids, especially the city kids, don't give a shit. They're like, oh, responsibility. It's scary.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think I became, this is him talking. I think I became radicalized just by my experience, just like millions of other people, not just the country, but around the world. Radicalized by not wanting to work. Hey, your communist society, you're going to have to work, buddy. Everybody's going to have to work. And if you can't, then you're going to be on the most basic of basic incomes, which you'll be able to maybe eat.
Yeah, maybe.
Wynn spent 2016 to 2020 firming up his views. 4 whole years.
Regretting his gender studies degree.
What in the world happened? What in the world happened?
That means it's doing fuck all.
Yeah, what happened to like was there something in 2016 to 2020 that happened that maybe have kind of made him feel never mind. I'm probably overthinking that too much.
I'd love to imagine like his mom coming into his bedroom like, what the hell have you been doing for the past 4 years?
I've
like,
been blogging, Mom.
I've been firming up my political views. It's like, well, that's interesting because there's a really big pile of Kleenex next to your bed, man.
So something was firm.
Are your political views on BuckyAsians.com?
Wins. God damn it. Eventually, he realized that his political beliefs and his hobbies aligned. Oh, isn't that
communism and doing fuck all?
You know, like it's like a drug addict going, you know what? My needs for cocaine and my want for it have aligned. Eventually, he realized that his political beliefs and hobbies aligned, and the Star Trek communist was born. Because according to Will, we could be living in the Trek future today, right now, if we had the political will to do it. You are fucking retarded.
Stupid.
We could have replicators right now if it wasn't for this conservatives.
Yep.
Blocking replicators. God damn it.
If it wasn't,
No, we need universal basic income, and then we'll be able to work to make replicators.
I would be, yes.
You sound like a bunch of right wingers now.
We could have
working hard. Working hard.
We could have transporters right now if it wasn't for Ted Cruz.
Yeah, we could be traveling and traversing the galaxy right now.
Warp drive, that's Trump that blocked that.
Yeah.
Elon Musk has truly been held back by capitalism.
Yeah. Hard work and earning things is a clear sign of a dog whistle for the alt-right.
But it is. It's on the list, isn't it? Good work ethic.
Apparently,
the most stupidest way possible too.
Working hard and taking responsibility for your own life and like trying to improve yourself, that's the kind of thing the Red Skull would tell you to do.
Be responsible. Hail lobster.
You just had a three hundo donation going through, guys.
Oh yeah. By the way, we'll get the super chats because capitalism. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay, capitalism.
We are capitalists, guys. So keep it coming.
As you know, that the only thing keeping us from getting dilithium crystals is the fact that they don't exist.
I thought that was also Ted Cruz.
No, Gary, you don't understand. They would exist under communism. They just don't exist under capitalism.
You wish them into existence. That's how.
Time
for everyone in chat.
Wouldn't we need monolithium first before we could even get to dilithium?
For everyone in chat as well, hit like if you hate communism.
And hit like if you are a communist.
Because you just do what everyone else wants to do.
Because you just do what everyone else
does. This kid's such a fucking narcissist. He's watching right now. I fucking promise you he is watching. So
come on, we'll send you the link.
Come into the chat. Honestly, we'll talk to you, man.
We will. We'll be respectful. I want you to lay out your arguments. I want to hear about your journey to becoming a commie.
And how he firmed up his beliefs.
College debt. That's how.
Yeah.
What happened in those 4 years?
Come in. Will, come in. Come on, dude.
Hey,
come in. We'll be nice to you.
You guys are really nice. I don't want to talk to this fucking loser.
We'll kick Ryan out. Come on in. Come on.
What's great as well, like there's plenty of communist countries that this guy could move to easily.
Yeah, right now.
China.
You know, and he could just be living the dream.
Yep.
At this
The
moment.
dream of China.
Yeah.
China's
dream, a little dream of
and yet
China.
there he is on his $1,000 smartphone complaining about how evil capitalism is.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty funny.
This would be a tricorder if it wasn't for, I don't know, Mitch McConnell.
Well, that's actually true. Yeah.
And actually, he would be real
slow
Romeo
down,
and Nail that he's
everybody.
doing.
Literally, everybody had the same ideas.
Tim Pool's impersonation is still the best. Now slow
That is-
down,
that's
everybody.
the great.
Over time, when applied his Marxist beliefs that he just honed over the last 4 years, everyone, to draw some pretty revolutionary conclusions despite the name. However, he doesn't believe he's the only one to do so. I call myself the Star Trek communist, but I'm not saying I'm the only one. No, I'm saying you are, dude. I'm going to say you are. A lot has changed in the past 300 years. People are no longer obsessed with the accumulation of things. Oh, and this is he's quoting Picard again. What does that got to do with right now?
By the way, what did Picard have on his wall? He had his ships. He had his stargazer. When his archaeology professor turned up and gave him the Sterling Nescar, he kept that. That, of course, then went through to generations because he held his possessions. I think Gene Roddenberry's biggest regret, I would say, with Star Trek would be when he said, we got rid of currency. I think because that caused so many problems when they came across different races and they were dealing with a capitalist society with different races. And so how did the Federation really act with them? And suddenly the Federation always had something. Some sort of, they could get hold of dilithium, they could get hold of gold pressed latinum should they need to. So yeah, I think the biggest regret they would have had would, we probably shouldn't have said that we got rid of currency.
So
4 years he was just watching all of Star Trek and, trying to find any inkling of communism he could. Like, that's what he did over 4 years, was watch every episode analytically and say, "Ooh, I can take this and I can use this and I can use this."
All this dude does is fucking drink.
What is up?
Skills.
No, there's other Star Trek YouTubers that do that too. When they make a point, they sip their coffee like they're sassy little bitches. I
just want to know why you had an Avengers logo on that mug.
I don't know. We'll find out. His approach glance shallow. He doesn't spend time debating his haters or engaging in nuanced descriptions of theory through taking. Why?
That's nothing then. What does he do?
He can't defend his arguments. That's why.
That's why.
Why?
So talking to him for a few minutes shows that he is more than capable of doing so. Oh, really?
Is he?
His pictures and memes serve as bait for those who grow enraged by his posts. So he's a fucking troll.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
He's a commie. He's a mindless commie shit poster. That's all.
He's a coward. I can't defend my point. So I'll just put up a bunch of fucking memes and get you mad. And by get you mad means I can't debate you.
Exactly. He posted and doesn't respond. He posted and doesn't respond.
It's the online culture of saying, change my mind. They want that argument. They want to have this debate. I have already gone down that road a long time ago. Really,
4 years.
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Ancient history.
The road is long.
When eschews that sorts of arguments, but those aren't the people he really is targeting. It's actually a way to get people to ask me about socialism, Marxism, and communism. My DMs are actually open all the time, answering questions.
I'm sure that's what that's filled with.
Isn't that an interesting statement, though? It's like, I'm not willing to target anyone who would actually argue with me. I just want really impressionable people that will just believe whatever I say.
He wants converts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, $400 super chat. Holy crap.
Yep.
And it also gives him an opportunity to look at Google as well.
Well, and I think he's full of shit. Personally, I don't think he's getting DMs at fucking time. I get DMs. We all get DMs. 6,900 followers. That's not bad on Twitter. That's great. But this guy, just looking at that picture, he doesn't care about any of this. He's just a fucking narcissist. He needs
shave your head, dude. As a guy who's bald, shave your fucking head.
Shave your head. Yeah, that looks. Listen.
It looks like my fucking last girlfriend's fucking vagina after she fucking let it grow back a few weeks. You know. just get rid. Come on.
It's coof vagina.
It's gone. It's gone, dude. It's Brazilians. Over. You've lost.
You can't get your Brazilians anymore. When a shoe. Okay, people. He says see a wholesome, positive.
Really?
About politics, they want to know more.
Like crap posting. Okay, yeah.
I look at this guy. I don't think wholesome and positive. I think this guy's got some terminal illness.
What the next paragraph said? Will is currently battling stage 3 cancer.
His only wish and Make-A-Wish was to have an article written about him on StarTrek.com.
If that was the next thing, I would say, you know what? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
that's what I would. Star Trek response.
StarTrek.com. Just lead with that in future. Lead with the sob story first.
This approach has drawn a fair amount of ire in some circles, with the criticisms leveled against him ranging from suggestions that he doesn't know what he's talking about
because he doesn't,
because he purchases costumes with money. Even in one notable post, that his forehead is too big. Yes, that's right. Fabled memeing ability, he responded. That's right. Fabled.
The rights.
The right. Fabled memeing ability. Is it fabled? Is it fabled?
Well, it's only fabled because the left can't meme.
Yeah.
I love how it just brushes over all of this as well. Like, some people have accused him of being a shallow, ill-informed moron. Well, moving on. Are you going to refute it?
Here's one example of people, being.
Here's
his argument,
the worst.
His argument is, oh look, the right wingers are posting. We're right wingers because we think fucking communism's right. Go on. Oh, you crazy!
Everybody's a right winger that disagrees with them. That's the NPC download.
Well, technically, you are to the right of them, so I guess in their perspective, you are the right.
As is the fabled right-wing New Zealand YouTuber.
I had it pulled up. Definition of fascism, according to Google, does say it mentions the right specifically. But then it's followed by fascism is a form of far-right authoritarian unilateralism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regiment of society and of the economy, which came to prominence in early 20th century Europe.
It's weird. It sounds a lot like communism.
Yeah, well, it sounds a lot like what's going on now, forcibly, suppressing your political opponents. As for the tendency to purchase his costumes, this just goes back to a common misconception about communism. It's very common refrain. Oh, well, you can buy the uniforms, right? So you're a capitalist, right? And actually, you do need to have a response to that. There's a misunderstanding of what what capitalism is, and the misunderstanding of commerce. The exchange of goods and services exists before capitalism, under feudalism, under previous forms of government. The use of money, one says, and having
discretionary
income are not verboten under communism. Don't trust a man wearing a better suit than your own, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. For Will, Star Trek serves as a value common metaphor to discuss politics with the like-minded, or people he hopes will one day become like-minded. Talking about politics with the uninitiated can be difficult. But it's made a lot easier if you talk about Chief O'Brien instead. See, the thing is, the reason Star Trek is putting us out is because this is what they're doing. It's a fucking platform. The mask is off. The mask is fucking off. CBS was okay with this going on their fucking website. Alex Kurtzman was absolutely okay. The fucking gray uniforms should have said it all. That's this new brand of fucking They are making Star Trek communist now. They are. I mean, flat out, that's what Kurtzman Trek is. So his
they got fucking Tilly on their ship.
Yeah,
she's fucking useless as a chocolate fire guard.
Also, I like how he lists other forms of government as like a legitimate, like somehow making communism legitimate. Saying, well, it's not just capitalism that you have these things with. Feudalism, you have these things. So communism has them too. Where?
Well, that's the thing that's so funny about it. Under communism, you don't have discretionary income.
You don't have, you
he's mentioning feudalism. What fucking year does he think this is?
Yeah.
He just played Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, sorry, no, we're a little bit past 1066 now, sunshine.
What he's basically saying here is like under communist governments, like you are given the bare essentials of life. Like you're given bread and water to eat and a building of some sort to live in. But if you wanted to get stuff like what I've got here, like these lovely uniforms from Star Trek, you would have to barter for them in some kind of black market situation to get that. That's not like a shining endorsement of communism right there. That's saying the system doesn't fucking work and people have to circumvent to get the things they want. Like he's undermining his own argument here, but because he's a fucking empty-headed millennial that doesn't have a moment of like self-reflection in his life, he doesn't even see it.
Yeah, he's saying why there's a need for a black market. There's an underground black market that you can use to.
I just read the last line there where the author shares his pronouns. That explains a lot of this article, doesn't it?
Yeah, that puts it all in perspective right there.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed on Twitter. He doesn't have a picture with wearing a mask in his profile picture. That's very disappointing. I'm sure that's probably going to cause the numbers to go up.
So
what's the number of masks on the left now? Is it like if you're not wearing at least 4, then you're not doing it right or something?
Something like that.
If you can still actually suck air into your lungs, then you've not got enough masks on.
He mentions there's a quote. I'm not going to go back. He basically says, well, the solution to this is the communist revolution. Well, so you're going to have to go to war, kill a bunch of people, tear down all the infrastructure, and replace all of your government, and you will be able to enjoy the benefits of that when? Never.
And also, you're assuming that you'll be at the top of that food chain, which, based on the fact that you have no skills at all, you will not.
Yeah, I want to see this guy running out of his house against an army with his fucking plastic phaser going, this would have been real if it wasn't for George W.
Bush. Enough of this.
If there's a revolution, if there's a war, I just want to be on the other side from that dude. Pretty much
in the stadium
watching. Pretty good about our chances if that's who we're fighting.
Yes. He'd just be on the battlefield, sipping his fucking drink.
I don't like communism, and I would fare better in that society than he would. Freud, we got to go to a super chat that I received during a Nooner Wolves right at the end, right when I ended the live stream. George Milo has given us a super chat for $500.
Hey.
Holy shit.
Says, hey, Karen, crazy week. Math is racist. Well, I thought we established that math was racist because there are right and wrong answers according to Union. Star Wars shit the bed with 2 purple Bobsy twins and a robot Picard showed up, but all is well. Nerdrotic is on. Please look around Houston, San Antonio, becoming leftist like California. Houston has more restaurants per capita, only second to Vegas. Hail Nerdrotic. I'm not going to live in I'm going to live in the outskirts of San Antonio. But I need internet and I need a cheap house because I like capitalism. So I'm going to have needs and wants that I'm willing to work for.
Just look at his wall behind him. That's capitalism right there.
That fucking capitalism. Damn straight.
I sucked off a Russian soldier for some Lego.
The struggle is real, Has. The struggle
That's
is real.
communism.
Gary, under capitalism, you've amassed so many figures that you created an avalanche out of them earlier.
That's the kind of excess that capitalism creates right there.
That's
oh
right.
my God.
But yeah, talking about math being racist, it is true. Wrong answers are a sign of being radicalized by the right wing. That's something we need to eliminate. Wrong answers in school system. Like, and nothing is wrong. Like, whatever you want to write down, whatever you want to identify your answer as, that will be the right answer, because otherwise it's just radicalization.
I kind of feel like that's something that's actually people have said. I mean, is that a joke? Please tell me it's a joke.
It's not that far off. That's the whole thing. Is we've heard so many ridiculous scenarios like that sometimes you're like, is that really something that they're saying? Because we are in a nonsensical land. It really is.
Babylon B really Babylon B had to step it up because they're like normal headlines. We're getting too fucking real.
They're getting too normal. That was the scary thing.
There's actually a debate going on in Oregon about a pine tree being a mascot because it might remind people of lynching.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where we are.
Yeah,
we are kind of get to a point
tree
where you can identify your answer as whatever you want, and if the teacher says it's wrong, then they are that's a sign of racism.
That's like